What is the best rod and reel setup for getting out and catching king salmon? In this video, I'll go over rod length and reel size. We'll talk about some of the pros and cons, and I'll also give you some suggestions for where to get a reel and rod. I'm gonna give you an excellent budget-friendly option to consider. Then we'll look at also a little bit of a nicer rod and reel setup for getting out and catching those salmon. First up is the X11 by Lama Glass. I absolutely love this rod. It's very affordable. This one is a 7.9, and I have it paired with a PC Fun Carbon X 3000. This is a setup that you can get for under $200, and it's a fine setup for getting you started. Combo number two, we're gonna look at a Lama Glass Infinity rod. This one is also a 7'9", and I have it paired with a PC Fun Nautix 4000. I also want to mention that this reel is designed to be in salt water. So if you are living in areas where your salmon are coming from saltwater into freshwater, you may want to consider getting a Nautix 4000. When it comes to rod length, there are a few things to consider. First of all, I think you have to consider the environment. Are you fishing a very small river, a stream, a creek, something like that? If that's the case, you may want a shorter rod. Another thing to consider is, what are you throwing? For me, if I'm throwing spinners, if I'm twitching jigs, if I'm throwing a jigging spoon, I prefer the shorter rod. A shorter rod being a 7.9 or an 8.6. This is as opposed to float fishing, where really you're going to want a longer rod. And one of the reasons is if you're float fishing, that longer rod is going to help you to mend your line and to keep your line behind your float for the most natural presentation possible. The other thing that a longer rod does for you is there's a lot more play in the tip. So when you're actually fighting the fish, it's less likely that a head shake or a hard run or a jump is going to cause that lure or that hook to rip free from its mouth or to break your line. If you have any other questions about rod length, feel free to drop it in the comments. As far as the reels are concerned, I would not go smaller than a 3000 size reel if you're going to be fishing for salmon. And the reason for that is line capacity. If you're fishing a pier or a harbor or a river mouth and there's any type of open water, these fish can absolutely run for days. And every year, people get spooled. So make sure that you get a reel that can hold an awful lot of line on it. By the way, both of these reels are available in my showcase. And if you're gonna purchase one, please do it through my showcase. I do get a small commission from that, and it helps me a lot to continue creating content like this. If you're interested in one of the rods, you can order them directly through lamaglass.com, and they will usually get to you within a week. If you found this information to be of value, go ahead and like it, comment, favorite, share. All of that helps me tremendously to continue making informative fishing content like this.